Afternoon, my friends. Well, we're going to continue on the reading we were working. Remember, we're working on elementary reader in English, and we were reading about Louis Braille. In fact, the title of the lesson was this: the story of Louis Braille. Well, we have already read part 1, 2, and 3, and also 4, in which we knew about this person. At the beginning, we knew that he was a child, and then he had something inside his eye, and that way he became blind. Later, he went to a school in order to learn to read books as blind people do. Well, used to do when at those times. And then he became a teacher at the same school, and then he was with a friend. The friend was reading an article about an army captain who created something called night writing, and then Braille got interested and he began to search about it and try to create his own way of making books for blind people. Okay? And then nobody believed him. Everybody was thinking he was lying until a pianist, a girl, was playing so well that the people began to ask her how she learned because she was blind. And then she said that it was thanks to Louis Braille that she had learned how to play the piano so well. And we made all the activities. However, we were missing some, and it's on part 4. We stayed yesterday till vocabulary and idiom review. So today we're going to continue there. But the first part is vocabulary and idiom review B in order to start this class. Okay? So, I'm going to say the instruction here, and I'm going to paste the rule, the instruction, the exercise on Classroom without the instruction. So pay attention because the instruction is going to be here. Vocabulary and idiom review B. Use the following expressions in sentences. 1. Blind. 2. Sharp. 3. Tool. 4. Pick up. 5. Feel sorry for. 6. Become blind. 7. At last. 8. Learn by memory. 9. Army. 10. Excited. 11. Become sick. 12. Become interested in. 13. Thank for. 14. Thick. 15. Loud. 16. Along the street. 17. Ask about. 18. Become tired. 19. At first. And 20. As fast as. To make this exercise, I think we need around 10 minutes because the words that we have here are really easy. In fact, I'm going to give you some examples of the sentences with these words. The number 1 is blind, so I'm going to write the first one. Braille was a blind person. Okay, so I'm using blind as the exercise asked me to do. The second one, well, we're going to give another example. I'm going to take number 5. Feel sorry for. Okay, and we're going to say Braille in past. We're going to use in past. Okay, past of feel, felt. Okay, Braille felt sorry for no helping other blind people. Okay, then we're going to give another example. The other example is learn by memory. Okay, so I'm going to write over here 8. People believed Braille had learned everything by memory. Okay, and in this way we have already 3 sentences with all the 20 phrases that we have in the exercise. Okay, so I think 10 minutes are enough in order you can write your 20 sentences. So after you finish, we continue. Meanwhile, my friends, I'm going to give you some examples of these sentences in order to show you that they are really fast. Okay? So I'm going to write my first sentence. My first sentence, which is with the word blind, okay? I can say Louis Braille was blind. Okay? Just as easy as that. I'm going to give you number 5. Feel sorry for. Okay? Example. Braille felt sorry for not helping people with the same problem. Okay, if you remember, Braille was blind, so he wanted to help people, but he couldn't till he met this army captain, so he felt sorry for not helping people with the same problem. I'm going to give you one more. 8. I'm going to choose 8. Okay? This is learn by memory. Learn by memory. Okay? And if you remember, in the text we mentioned in some part of the text that people used to believe that Louis Braille was telling lies, that he was not developing anything, nothing at all. Okay? So I'm going to make an example with that one. People said that Braille learned everything by memory. Okay, and as you can see, my friends, the examples are really easy. I have already given you 3 here, then you just need to make other 17 sentences. However, this is really easy. Okay, so think of your 10 minutes to do this, and then we're going to continue. Next activity is called structure review. Okay, and it says change the following sentences to the present continuous form. Okay, my sentence 1 says he lives in a small town. So in present continuous it should be he is living in a small town. My second sentence says he plays in the street. In continuous is he is playing in the street. Number 3, he takes a walk in the park. In present continuous, he is taking a walk in the park. Sentence 4, they sit in a restaurant. In present continuous, they are sitting in a restaurant. Number 5, his friend reads the newspaper to him. In present continuous, his friend is reading the newspaper to him. 6, he uses a small tool with a sharp point. In present continuous, he is using a small tool with a sharp point. 7, he gives them books. In present continuous, he is giving them books. 8, she plays the piano very beautifully. In present continuous, she is playing the piano very beautifully. And my sentence 9, everyone looks happy. In present continuous, everyone is looking happy. I recalled you the instruction, my friends. You already have it in classroom. In classroom, it's going to say structure review A, and the instruction is change the following sentences to the present continuous form. Okay? Then, after we make the sentences in present continuous, we're going to do the next exercise, which is going to be called a structure review B. And the instruction for this exercise is change the following sentences to the past continuous form. Okay? So, before we made present, now we're going to make past, but both are continuous tenses. Okay? So, 1, he played in his father's shop. In past continuous, he was playing in his father's shop. Sentence 2. He walked with a cane. In past continuous, he was walking with a cane. 3. She went to a special school. In past continuous, she was going to a special school. 4. He sat in a restaurant with a friend. In past continuous, he was sitting in a restaurant with a friend. 5. His friend read the newspaper to him. In past continuous, his friend was reading the newspaper to him. 6. He studied different ways of making dots and dashes on paper. In past continuous, he was studying different ways of making dots and dashes on paper. 7. He spoke before a group of people. In past continuous, he was speaking before a group of people. 8. They continued to work with his system. In past continuous, they were continuing to work with his system. 9. They told him what had happened. In past continuous, they were telling him what had happened or what was happening. It depends on you, okay? 10. He worked out a system of marks for music. In past continuous, he was working out a system of marks for music. Okay? That's the end of the exercise, which is called Structure Review B. Okay? I think for each of these, if you're good for writing, you're going to take around 5 minutes. However, if you're not very good at writing, you're going to take around 10 minutes. So let's say 10 minutes per each exercise. It makes like 30 minutes and half an hour till now with the activities we have just suggested. Okay? And we're going to make a pause. Take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale, and take a break. We're going to come back in around 2 or 3 minutes. We're going to continue, my friends, because we still have around 20 minutes of our class. Remember, our class is made by 50 minutes. So we're going to continue with the next lesson. We have already finished Louis Braille's story. So now we're going to make some other thing about reading in order to make you, to enhance your vocabulary skills, your reading skills if you want to read the text with me, because remember, I also upload the text in order you can read. And if you want, you can also practice your pronunciation in order to enhance your speaking skills, okay? So if you have a friend, or even if you want to talk by WhatsApp, you can give dialogues in English in order to practice your speaking, and this way you're going to have a better fluency, okay? So let's continue. My next lesson is called Some Humorous Stories, okay? I think this is going to take us around 20 minutes, so let's begin. This is the cover for the lesson, okay? And we're going to begin. Clerk in post office after weaving letter. That letter's too heavy. You'll have to put another stamp on it. A man says. What's the good of that? If you put another stamp on it, that will only make it heavier, won't it? Okay, let's continue in the reading on next page. An inspector of schools was visiting an English class one day. Some of the students were having difficulty in the correct placing of the letters I and E in such words as receive, relieve, believe, and zealing. Finally, the inspector said, "Students, I can give you a rule which I always follow and which never falls." The students were very interested. Even the teacher seemed eager to learn this important rule. The inspector continued, "It is simple this. Write the I in the E exactly alike and then put the dot in the middle over them." Okay, let's continue. The last part of this text. "What are you doing, my dear?" said the mother to her small 4-year-old daughter. "I'm writing a letter to Helen," the little girl answered. "But dear," said the mother, "you don't know how to write." The little girl continued to make marks on the paper with her pencil and answered, "Well, Helen doesn't know how to read, so it doesn't make any difference." Okay, this was all the text, my friends. Now it comes the exercise. The exercise is made of 10 questions. You just have to write the answers, okay? And it's going to be on Classroom with the title, Answer the Questions. And here they go. Question number 1. Where does the first story take place? 2. Why does the post office clerk say that the man must put another stamp on the letter? 3. How does the man answer the clerk? 4. In the second story above, what class is an inspector visiting? 5. With what were some of the students having difficulty? 6. Do you have difficulty with the correct placing of I and E in certain words? 7. What rule did the inspector give the class for these letters? 8. In the third story, to whom is the little girl writing a letter? 9. Was the little girl able or unable to write? And my last question, number 10. Why did she say that it didn't make any difference whether she knew how to write? Okay, my friends, so these exercises are going to take you around 50 minutes of the class, as the class is 50 minutes lesson. So you're going to be able to answer all those exercises in this time. Okay? If you need any help, let me know on the comments. Or if you are just on live right now with me at Zoom, ask me directly. Okay? Remember, we are using Elementary Reading English, okay, by Robert J. Dixon, which help us to make several things. 1, we can improve reading. 2, we can improve vocabulary. 3, we can improve pronunciation if we practice together. And 4, you can improve your whole English. Okay, my friends, that's it for today. See you till next class. Don't forget to subscribe, give a like, click on the bell for notifications, and see you around. Have a nice day.